Hello Comicscape, Rorschach here. Right, I want to show you the difference between a good Tom King book, not this one, and a bad Tom King comic book. So this is Batman issue number 55. I'll do a full review of Mr. Miracle 11 in just a second, but I just want to show you what Mr. Miracle perhaps could have been with a different artist. Okay, so this is Batman issue number 55. We got Tony S. Daniel doing the artwork. Tom King likes to do the contrast in his writing. He likes to have a bit of humour and a bit of serious stuff all mixed up. He likes to shock people, to jolt people and to surprise people because you're never quite sure where the tone is going to go. It works really, really well in the Batman book because you've got the grids at the beginning. This is very serious. This is a hook-handed man. He's coming to Gotham to do naughty, naughty things, right? So no one's smiling, very serious. Contrast. Big old splash page there. Artwork looks fantastic, doesn't it? With Nightwing saying, Gotham, the night, the rain, and the dynamic duo. What do you say? Batman, ready for some fun? Batman, no. So, silly, throwaway, funny. Back to the serious stuff again. Frowns. No one's smiling. Back to the, look at that. Wonderful page of action. And they're fighting mummies, which of course are ridiculous. No one treats mummies seriously. So it works, and there's a moment at the end of the book as well, which I've done a spoiler in my video, which makes it all worthwhile as well. So this book is great. This is what you can do when you contrasting the different tones of the book from seriousness to silliness when you've got a great artist like Tony S. Daniel. In Mr. Miracle, you've got Mitch Gerards. Mitch Gerards does the same, the panel layout here, the going little panels right throughout. And the tone of silliness and seriousness just becomes all muddled. And what ends up happening is that you don't treat any of it seriously. It all turns into a total a joke. Right. I begin with a joke with a veggie tray. So what's going on? Well, story-wise, this is Jackie, I think they call him. It's obviously a reference to Jack Kirby. He's the son of Mr. Miracle and Big Barda, and they're going to give their son to Darkseid. Why? Because it's going to end a war. It's going to end a galactic war. It's going to bring peace to the galaxy. So this is the kind of deal that kings used to do, where they trade family members as a sign that their country is not going to go to war, you know, with the other country that's holding your son, daughter, or relative as a hostage. Yeah, it used to be a fairly typical bargaining tool that empires used to use. So, okay, so that's the deal. You hand over your son, world peace. Sounds like a good deal to me. I guess you can always have another son, can't you? Yeah. World peace might be a little bit more difficult to bring about. That's my opinion anyway. But, you know, if you do a deal, you stick to the deal. If people don't stick to their deals, you've got chaos. Everything falls apart if you can't trust anybody, you know, over anything. Particularly things as important as world peace. Anyway, so we begin the story with a veggie tray. And immediately this is a joke. None of this is to be treated seriously. And there's a reminder, Batman, of the better book. Right, so we've got little old Mr. Miracle and Big Barda preparing to give the son to Darkseid. Off they go to the other dimension then. Look at this. Hey, one thing I've learned in all my years as a god on Earth, never underestimate the power of a good veggie tray. Oh, he's such a beta character. So feminine. And there's his missus. Actually, that's not his missus, is it? That's his missus there, Big Barda. I think Big Barda might be having a little bit more fun with that lady than she is with her husband, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so here's Darkseid, the introduction of Darkseid, and he's immediately made to be a total joke by eating from the veggie tray. How can you how can you take Darkseid seriously after he's introduced like this? So this is the most feared person in all the galaxy, the tyrant, the dictator, and he's eating off a veggie tray. But there's no contrast, there's no moments of seriousness that come after this, as happens in this book. It's just all silly, all meaningless, all a joke, all just throwaway stuff. Okay, so let's get the deal over and done with. Not a lot is happening in these panels. the kid handed over, and if you thought what was happening with that veggie tray is bad, the kid starts to play with Darkseid's nose. Oh really? Oh man, is anybody laughing at this? I'm not. Okay, so Darkseid shows that he's a man who takes his word seriously. If he promises something to you, his word is his bond. He actually pulls out his eye and gives it over to Big Barda. Why is he not giving it to Mr. Miracle? Because Big Barda wears the pants in their family, so of course he's going to hand it over to her. She's the man in the family and Mr. Miracle is the woman. That's their role in their relationship. So he's showing great faith in the deal here. He's pulling out his own eye because 2 eyes apparently some sort of powerful weapon that he's got, and this is him almost doing a Gaddafi and giving up his weapons to his enemies, showing that he doesn't want war. Didn't work out too well for Gaddafi. I don't think it's going to work out too well for Darkseid here, and I'm kind of on his side because he genuinely wants peace. You don't do that if you don't want peace. But unfortunately for Darkseid, he's not dealing with good guy heroes here. He's dealing with people you can't trust. So the heroes in the book are people that you can't trust. They'll just lie to you to get what they want. That's not what heroes should be doing. Big Barda then attacks him. Well, of course she does, because again, yeah, she's the man in the family. It's Mr. Miracle's job to look after the kid, whilst his wife does all the fighting for him. Unfortunately for her, she fails, but we do get a reveal. Remember that Darkseid is thing? That was a big part of the earlier books. We finally get the answer to what this has all been about. Bastard. Darkseid is? Yes, I am. Okay. Diminishing everything. Nothing matters. There is no meaning. It's all a laugh. And if you are treating any of this seriously, you are a bit of a twit. He's trying to put too much meaning into what is basically a puddle which has been clouded over to give the illusion of depth. Okay. From there, poor old Darkseid has been betrayed, but he's going to have to deal with Mr. Miracle, who's finally managed to find his nuts and fights Darkseid himself. Fails at the beginning, but he eventually gets the upper hand because he's got this special weapon which helps him defeat Darkseid. He's stabbing him there in his other eye, I guess. It's important to note where he got this weapon from, and it's also important to note that it's a phallic object. The object came from Big Barda. Of course it did, because Big Barda basically is holding his penis. And she'll give it to him every now and then, as long as he promises to be a good boy. So, alone Mr. Miracle himself kills Darkseid. Not that Darkseid would anything anyway after, you know, the veggie tray and the kid messing around with his nose. It's all down to Big Barda. And then he gets told off because he was swearing in front of the kid as she towers over him menacingly. Oh, God. Man, the gender relationships in the West today are completely screwed up. I guess that's faithfully, you know, reproduced in pages of the comic book with the man as the woman as the man. Anyway, from there we get a new bad guy, and he's called Metron. Why should we treat this guy seriously at all? Look at Darkseid. Darkseid was mocked and beaten quite easily, really, just stabbing him in the face. So yeah, why is this guy any more of a threat than this guy? Oh, here we go then. The reason why Mitch Gerards has been doing all these panels like this, because when he does the big panel, not too impressive, is it? We got a trans Wonder Woman there. That's very progressive of her. Superman hasn't got a chin. That's, I guess that's Abe Lincoln hanging out in the background there, and it looks really bad. Again, I'll compare it to the artwork in this book here. Let's get a similar page. There we go. Look at the difference. Here we go. Tony S. Daniel. Mitch Gerards. Okay. So yeah, if you want a good Tom King book, you need to get this one. And from there, the book concludes with Mr. Miracle jumping on a very small, obviously, carrot whilst this new bad guy glares, But does any of it mean anything? Nah, not really. The writer and artist have been laughing at you throughout. Darkseid was completely mocked, you know, from beginning to end of the book. It's all about the veggie tray. It's all about Big Barda being the man and Mr. Miracle being the slim-shouldered soy boy cock. Not very heroic at all. And I'm just getting fed up with it, really. I'm fed up with Mr. Miracle. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. So, yeah, bugger off, Mr. Miracle. Take your Eisner Award with you. I'm more interested in Batman issue number 5. So there we go. That's my review of Mr. Miracle. Nowhere near as good as this much better book. Yeah, which does prove that Tom King is a top writer, but top writers need top artists as well. So, yeah, if you want a good comic book, check out this one. This one, nah, wouldn't bother with. Thanks for checking out the review. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you'd be so kind. Let me know what you think about what I said. Always interested in the comments. Cheers, take care. I'll be back as always later.